Hey everyone, welcome back to today's video. For today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these super cute and easy little treat bags for Halloween. There are definitely some great Halloween stamp sets in the new, in the upcoming holiday catalog, but for me, I don't make very many Halloween cards, so I was really trying to figure out what I was going to make using some of the Halloween products, and I came up with these little treat bags. I think they're super cute, and we're going to be making the little tag to go on top of them. So I'm probably going to give these to some family and friends, maybe even take a few to work for Halloween. I'm just super excited to do these, and they're really, really easy to make. So to make these, supplies are also very limited, so that works out really well. We're going to be using two different ink pads. We're going to use Pumpkin Pie and Versamark because we're going to do a little embossing. We are going to be doing our embossing with black embossing powder. We're going to use one of our aqua painters. I'm using the largest one. You can simply use a paintbrush and water, and that works just as well, but I'm just using the aqua painter because it's pretty handy. I have a piece of watercolor paper here, and it's cut at about 4 1/4 by 2.5 inches. We're going to be using the Banner Framelits dies, so you just need a piece that's going to be large enough for your framelit to go on there. I'm also going to be using our I think it's called our mini stapler, but you can use a regular stapler. I think I have one somewhere. I just have this really handy, so I'm going to be using this. So you'll need a stapler or something to close the bag with. It doesn't have to necessarily be a staple. That's just what I found is easiest. We're going to be using our 3x6 gusseted cello bags. These are awesome. I absolutely love these, so we're going to be using those. And then for the stamp set, we're going to be using this Jar of Haunt set. We're going to focus on the pumpkin, and then there are 2 sentiments in this set. So you have Happy Halloween and a spooky treat for you to eat. I think I'm going to use this one today, but I did do this sample that has the Happy Halloween on it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is create our little designer series paper-esque thing. You're basically just going to be creating the paper. So we're going to use our pumpkin pie ink. And we're using the pumpkin from the stamp set, and we're just going to stamp this pumpkin all over here. Now, I did create some masks, and when I was playing with this before, I was using the masks to make the pumpkins not kind of layer on top of each other like that. But because we're watercoloring this, I found that you don't, the exact shape of the pumpkin really gets lost. So you don't really need to be too conscious about keeping them from overlapping each other. I did have another piece that I did, and I don't know where it is right this second, where I just left it. Oh, maybe it's right here. So I did have this piece where it's much larger, and I didn't fold it in half. I was just kind of experimenting to see what I could do. Oops. And you can see that the pumpkins here don't overlap each other, and you can really see it. But once we do the embossing on the front and you fold it in half, you're really not going to see the pumpkins that much. They're really going to fall to the background. So this, I think, is fine. I'm not going to worry too much about them overlapping. Like I said, once we start watercoloring on here, you're not really going to notice it anyways. So, speaking of watercoloring, I'm going to go ahead and take my ink pad and make sure that I get some ink on here so it's all nice and juicy. And I'm going to just take my aqua painter, and I'm just going to do a complete wash of this whole piece. You don't have to be super particular about it. I'm just getting the orange color all over in all of the pumpkins. So I'm going to go ahead and speed that up, and I will be right back as soon as it's done. Okay, so now I went ahead and watercolored the whole piece. And like you saw, I just did a wash. I did kind of go pumpkin by pumpkin, but other than that, I mean, you don't have to. You could actually probably just watercolor this before. You could use just a plain piece of, you could use a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock and just stamp the pumpkin backgrounds on there and be done. I just like the look of the watercolor, and I like the thickness of the watercolor paper. it really stands up to using on our bags for little tags. So I did go ahead and dry it. So this piece is completely dry now. I just used my heat tool and went over it a couple of times. I'm going to take my, just an acrylic block. You can use whichever block you have laying around. And I'm going to take my ink pad, open it up, and I'm going to just tap one of the corners in the middle or somewhere on my acrylic block. It doesn't really matter where you do it. You just want to get some of that ink on your block. And I have ink on my fingers now. And I'm going to take my aqua painter and get lots and lots of water. So I'm going to squeeze just the barrel of it. And like I said, lots and lots of water. And then what I'm going to do is take my painter, my aqua painter, and again, you could use just a plain paintbrush to do this, and you would do the exact same thing. And I'm just going to flick down onto my piece to make these little splotches. And if you need more, you can use, excuse me, if you need more, you can grab some more ink. And again, just tap it on there. Just like that. Use your aqua painter. Again, you really do have to use a lot of water to flick the drops down. See, I don't have enough water, so it's not working out. There we go. And the other thing with this, because the inks are water-based inks, what happens is the water starts to kind of pool around where the droplets are. I don't know how well, here, let me set this aside. I don't know how well you guys can see this on camera, but right here is a really good example. The water pools around where the droplet is, and it makes these little splotches, and it turns out really, really pretty, and it adds a nice little bit of texture to our pretty much flat image here. So I'm just going to take my napkin here and wipe all of those spots up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my heat tool one more time, and I'm just going to heat set this, or not heat set it, but dry it really fast. It should be pretty much dry. We're not adding a ton of water. But I just want to make sure, because we're now going to do our embossing. And where did, oh, there it is. So we're going to do our Versamark ink. And we're going to use the A Spooky Treat for You to Eat stamp from the set and get it nice and inked up. Now, if you wanted to, you could take your framelit and position your framelit and then stamp down. And I might actually do that to make it a little bit easier. So we're going to be using the third largest banner. So you can kind of position wherever you want your frame to cut your piece out. And then you can hold that with one hand and then stamp down your image. And that way you know you're going to get your little greeting right where you want it. And I need to grab a piece of paper so that we can do our embossing. Whoops. Just fold this in half very quickly. I think these are super cute. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm probably going to do these for like some family and friends, and then maybe even do a few and take them to work and just kind of have them so people can take them and use them as they please. And they're super easy. Once you kind of get the hang of it down, once you kind of get in a rhythm, they go really quick. And you could do a whole piece of watercolor paper and do it all at once and then cut them up and do your little banners, which I think is super cute. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to transfer all of this back into our little container. Close it up before I spill it. I made a couple of these last night, just kind of messing around and practicing, and I spilt them all over. I spilt it all over the place. So now I'm just going to heat set this and get it all nice and melted. Okay, and now we're going to bring in our big shot. Take that. Where did my little banner just go? So I'm going to position this right here, right in the center. And just use a little piece of washi tape to make sure that that's secure and doesn't move anywhere. And crank it through. There we go. Because it's watercolor paper, it is a little bit thicker. Ooh, I have things falling off my desk. You should see my desk right now. It's kind of a mess, but I have a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of projects that I'm trying to do. So it is what it is. Okay, so now that we have this cut out, our project's almost complete. So we're going to grab one of our little gusseted bags, and I just have some candy here. I did some cookies in one, I did candy in one, I'm going to do candy in this one. You could do whatever you want. If you wanted to put like some candy corn in here, I think that would be super cute for Halloween. Whatever you want to do, you can just throw in here. I had to go raid our candy jar to get some goodies. And then I'm just going to take this. Actually, I almost forgot. One thing that you do want to do with this, because we are using watercolor paper, I want to go ahead and score this where I want it to be folded. So let me, oops, and now I'm moving my camera. Hopefully you guys can still see. I'm going to just take this and make a little score line right where I want to fold it. Just go over it a couple times so you get a nice thick line. And now you can fold it, and it folds really easily, which will help when we go to assemble our bag now. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to roll it down just so that the candy doesn't fall out. I'm going to stick this on and just hold it tight. And I like to focus on one side at a time. It's a little bit easier. So I'm going to just take my stapler, and I'm going to do 2 staples for this one because it's the larger, a little bit of a larger flag. But for the smaller one, I just did 1 staple right in the center, and it was perfectly fine. And that's it. So now you have your little treat bag all completed, all composed, and it's super fun. On this one, I just took a black Sharpie and colored the staple. So if you wanted to do that, you could. I don't know where my black Sharpie went. There's pink. Here we go. Let's see how well I can do this. And this just kind of blends the colors in together a little bit better. Whoops, I made a little dot on that one, but that's okay. See? Super cute. And that's our little treat bags for today, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, super quick, super easy little project. You can whip these out. Like I said, if you're going to be making a lot of these in mass, like what I might do, just take a big piece of watercolor paper, do the whole background, just stamp your little heart away, watercolor the whole thing, and then cut out your little banners, emboss them, and you'll be done. You'll have a nice little production line in no time at all. So I hope you guys enjoy these. Be on the lookout for some more projects coming up. And the holiday catalog is live now, so you can go ahead and purchase the, where did I put the stamp set? I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing everything. The Jar of Haunt stamp set, which I just had, and now I don't know where it is because my desk is a mess. Oh, it's right in front of my face. You can now order the Jar of Haunt stamp set along with all of the other awesome products that are in the holiday catalog. So if you haven't received your holiday catalog yet, please feel free to go over to my website. It's the first link in the description box below, and use the contact me form, fill that out, and I will get a holiday catalog sent right over to you guys so that you guys can start looking at all of the goodies that are in the new catalog and get this one if you're interested. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye!